Hi, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to provide a full in-depth tour of the all-inclusive Wyndham Kunuku Aqua. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know everything you might be wondering about this resort so you can decide if it's the right fit for your next vacation. Because we're not able to full-time travel yet, we're still looking for destinations that are only about a half day's worth of travel away. For us, it was a 2-hour trip from Greenville to Miami and an additional 2.5-hour trip from Miami to Curaçao. We knew for this trip that we would need a rental car for our week's stay, so as soon as we got through customs, we headed to the rental car counter and made the 20-minute drive from the airport to the hotel. If you're wondering where the Wyndham is located on the island, it's pretty centrally located as shown here. The west coast of the island is where all of the beaches you're going to want to swim on are located, while the east side of the island is where all of the cliffs and rougher waters are. The bottom half of the island is the metropolitan areas, while the northern half of the island is absolutely more laid back with smaller towns and a lot less traffic. As we begin an in-depth tour of the property, the 3-bedroom suite we stayed in, and the food on site, I thought this diagram might be helpful to show you the route that I took as I walked through the property. The property itself is fairly large and has many rooms. However, the route I took sticks to all of the common areas that all of the guests will use while on site. Once the site tour is complete, we'll end up at Building 19, which is where our suite was located, and I'll give you a full room tour of a 3-bedroom suite. I'm going to start the property tour here at reception. Not only is this where you're going to check in and out, but it's also where you're going to get your pool towels each day. It's also where you're going to sign up for the free shuttle bus that'll either take you into Williamstad or to the beach if you don't have your own rental car. The first stop on our tour is going to be the gym. As you'll see, it is very well maintained. It was very clean inside. They did have towels for you to use, and it had everything you might need to get your workout in while on vacation. As we exit the gym and come back down those stairs, you're going to come to the first of 3 pools that does have a slide large enough for adults to use. Right behind that is the first of many bars, this one also having the robot bar. To use the robot bar, you take your room key and scan it on the screen, then you pick one of the drinks that they offer, and that little robot arm there is going to go ahead and make it for you. This also ensures that anyone who is underage is not able to use this feature. It's also connected to a regular bar that you can see here, so there is staff right there to ensure proper use. As I continue walking towards the rear of the property, we're going to come to the first of 2 pools specifically designed for the smaller kids that you might have with you on site. From here, I'm going to turn around and head back towards the robot bar, but instead of going straight, I'm going to take a left here at these stairs and head up this ramp towards the main part of property. At the top of that ramp, we're going to veer to the left and come over here to the pizza bar. If at any time while you're on site you decide you want to have pizza for lunch or dinner, this is where you're going to come. I will show a menu of the options they have later in the video. Attached to the far end of the pizza bar is the barbecue pit area. These barbecues are only for guests who are staying 7 or more nights. What this does is it allows them to cook their own meal one evening, and they go over to the buffet to get any additional food items they might want to go with the food they grill. As I continue walking towards the very back of the property, we're going to come to the fairway where there are 2 carnival rides available for guests to use. Now these 2 things are only open during peak season, so we did not get to enjoy them while we were here. As I head back the way I came, you're going to see the pizza bar to my right-hand side, and to the left you're going to see the second and third of the very large adult slides they have here on property. At the end of the pizza bar, I'm going to go to my left and you're going to see the end of those two large slides we were just beside. And off to my right, you're going to see the dining area for the buffet. You can take your meals out here in these huts if you would prefer. Over here is the second of the children's pool areas. This one is much shallower, so it is geared for smaller children. Over here towards this main bar area, you're going to see a menu posted. These are all of the snack items they offer in between meals. Now, if you are a guest of the resort, you can ignore those coin prices. This resort does offer day passes to non-guests, and those day passes do have to purchase their food. I'm going to continue walking straight here up that little ramp to the only pool on site that has no water feature or slide of any kind. So if you prefer to get your laps in instead of hitting a gym, this is the pool that you'll come to do that at. As I come back down that same ramp, to the right you're going to see that smaller child's play area again, and to the left is the designated smoking area. As we enter into the main dining room for the buffet, there are a few things I want to point out. One, this is not air conditioned. There are screens on those windows, but the birds do still get in and will pick at your food if you walk away. There is a bar there along that long back wall, so you can get anything you want to drink, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. There is no bottled water on site, so there are water coolers all over property where you can take your own bottle and just keep refilling it. I found it amusing that they actually had a cigarette machine because we don't see those anymore here in the States. And then as I came out the side entrance, I'm going to walk back towards the main reception area. And over here to my right, the first building we're going to see is actually the kids club. It was closed while we were here, again, off season, and we didn't have children with us anyway, but I did want you to be aware they do offer one here on site during peak season. Again, as I turn, you're going to see that reception directly there in front of me, and I'm going to take a left here right behind this little play area and walk back towards the last of the main pools. As I walk up these steps, to the right, you're going to see our apartment. We were the ground floor of this building. There were only 2 units in the building, so it did feel very private, which was super nice. As I continue walking straight, we are going to see the last of the pool and bar areas on property. This bottom smaller pool here is an infinity pool. It is not a jacuzzi, even though it might look like one in this video. As I walk around, you'll see the path that's going to lead me back to that main pool area and bar area. As I walk back towards this final bar area, this was super nice having it close to our room because if we wanted a drink or wanted a snack, we were able to walk right over here and have it. Either we could enjoy it poolside or take it back to our room. I will take this moment to explain that the rooms do not have mini bars or drinks or snacks in them. So anytime you want one of those, you are going to have to walk to one of these bars here on property. So having this one so close to our room was really nice. As I walk back behind this pool area, I am walking towards the second of the playground areas. This one seemed to be geared towards kids that were a little bit older, and here in a second I'm going to show you the last final play area for children. And here is that last play area for kids on property. This allows them to play basketball or maybe just run off some additional energy they might have. Around this corner here is an inflatable area that is open during peak season. Again, it was not open when we were here, but this is a photo of what it should look like if you happen to come during peak season. Okay, so now that the property tour is done, let's head over to our room and do a full room tour. As you can see, I'm walking to that very first blue building there, and as I walk up, as with most all-inclusives, your wristband is also your room key, so you'll see me badge in here in a second. When you walk in, there's a utility closet directly on your left. This had a broom, a dustpan, and a drying rack for any of your wet clothing. That mirror on the right was actually awesome because, as I'll explain here in a second, it's the only one I could actually use within the suite. Here is a quick glimpse of our living room and kitchen setup, but I'm going to start with the master bedroom. The bed was okay, not much to complain about. However, the bathroom did have a few issues. That door is only slat, so it didn't really create any privacy. The mirrors in this bathroom are mounted so high that at 5 foot, I could only see my forehead in them. And that shower only has a small lip to keep the water from kind of seeping around the rest of the bathroom. As I come back out into the main living area, the most important thing I feel I should note is there is no air conditioner in this common area. So either you have the windows and doors open and you're also letting in the mosquitoes, or you have everything closed up and you don't let in as many mosquitoes, but then it's really warm. This is that large deck area that we saw previously. This was a great area to sit, relax, and enjoy some meals. Coming down this hallway here, this second bathroom did kind of have the same issues. So this door was frosted, so again, not much privacy. The shower had the same issue with water leakage, and the mirror was mounted just as high. Both the second and third bedrooms were pretty much identical, 2 twin beds that could be pushed together, but it was nice that each room had its own air conditioner so you could kind of control your own temperature in the evening. As I mentioned before, the rooms do not have any kind of mini bar or drinks available in them, but I am going to show you that the kitchen does provide a lot of amenities. So if you were staying longer, you could either stock up from the different bars and restaurants on site or maybe go to a grocery store. I did not open the drawers, but there is literally anything and everything you would need to cook. Silverware, utensils, pots, pans, you name it, it did have it. And having a full-size refrigerator was also really nice. Another thing at this property that is not normal to all-inclusives is you did not have daily cleaning of your apartment. So if you're in a regular hotel room, you will have daily cleaning, but if you're in one of the 2 or 3 bedroom apartments or suites like we were, you can see here from that information that you're only gonna have cleaning a few times a week. Read any of the reviews for this property online, you're going to see that the biggest complaint is going to be the food, and here's why. Number 1, there's no room service. Number 2, again, no mini bars available in the room. And number 3, your dining options are very limited. I think the main food complaint really comes from the fact that the buffet is the only restaurant on site. So basically just be prepared to eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner each day. You do have that pizza option or the snack items from the bars, but again, that's not normally typical of an all-inclusive. Now that we understand that the buffet is going to be our only dining option, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the meals they offered while we were here. This is the buffet area. I did this video at the end of lunch service one day as it's entirely too busy to try and film while meals are being served. We do want to say that there is a grill area, that there's a chef at lunch and dinner, and they do a variety of cook to option things. So one day it was quesadillas, one day it was chicken on a stick, another time it was pork tenderloin, another time it was steak. So they do offer a large variety of items, so we never got bored with the food. But we can understand why people who are used to normal all-inclusives might have an issue with this only buffet style option. I would like to say that we were on site from Saturday to Friday, so the Saturday and Sunday the food was fine. We didn't really have any complaints, but we did notice that the food really did improve the Monday through Friday, and we think that's because they were serving a lot less people, so they were able to serve just a little bit better food each day. I would also like to note that when the pools close, those bars close. So after 6 p.m., the only place to get alcoholic drinks are either in the buffet dining room or at the pizza bar. Speaking of pizza, here's the pizza options that are available to you at lunch and dinner. When you place an order, you are placing an order for an entire pizza. So if you're not able to finish it, just note you can take that extra pizza back to your room to eat later. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and remind you that if you're staying at the resort, you can ignore these coin prices on both this menu and the bar food menu, as those are for guests that are there on a day pass. I am going to show the bar food menu here because it also points out that there are 4 wine options, 2 beer options, and a limited cocktail menu available. Now, you don't have to have one of these specific 4 cocktails. They can make you other things, but just keep in mind, like the food options, alcohol is also limited. The last thing I want to discuss before I get into a pro and con list and the cost of staying at the resort is the pools. It's important to note that they close at 6 p.m., which we felt was really early. But from this diagram here, you can kind of see your different swimming options. There are 3 pools large enough for adults to use the slides on. You do have those 2 smaller kiddie pools, and then there is the 1 lap pool. Talk about the pros of this resort. Obviously, it's super kid friendly. The suites were very large and well appointed. It is centrally located, so if you have a rental car and plan on doing sightseeing, it is super easy to reach from the airport. It does have that free shuttle to the beach in Williamstad every day, so if you don't have a car, you can still see a little bit of the island. The staff does speak multiple languages. And if you are a Wyndham Rewards member, you know that most all-inclusives are 30,000 points per night, and this resort is only 15,000 points a night for a 3-bedroom suite. Now let's talk about a few of the things you really should consider before booking a room at this resort. One of the biggest things being that there's only ACs in the bedrooms. So again, if you rent a suite, just know your living room kitchen area is not going to be air conditioned. You do have those limited food options, which for some might not be a problem, but some people do really want more variety than they offer here. There is no room service, no mini bar in your room, there is no daily cleaning of your suite. The pools do close at 6 p.m. and there are limited amenities in the off season. You can see here that the cost of our 6-night, 7-day stay at this Wyndham costs $3,210.72. This was for 4 adults in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath suite. However, we could have brought 2 additional children and there would have been no additional cost. With all of that being said, we actually did not use cash to pay for this trip. We used our Wyndham points. As I stated before, most all-inclusive resorts are a minimum of 30,000 points per night. However, at this resort, we were able to use 15,000 Wyndham points a night, again for 4 adults in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath suite. And again, we could have brought 2 additional children with us and it still would have cost the same 90,000 points. Factoring in everything that we've just discussed, I do have to say we really truly feel that we got quite a value for our points for this week's long vacation. But we want to know your thoughts. Have you stayed at this all-inclusive before? What was your experience like? Do you think it was worth the 90,000 Wyndham points? Better yet, do you think it would have been worth the $3,300 to stay at this resort for a week? Let us know below. Lastly, this is going to be the first of 3 videos that we have coming out on the island of Curaçao, so we really do hope you'll check out our channel to see those other 2 videos. Please consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. Happy travels!